then it's gonna be a problem for me, definitely.
So is that something you need something for like reassurance? Like how would you know?
It worked for Adam 22, so I mean.
Yeah.
He's a weirdo.
He's a professional cuck, though.
Yo, yeah. I woke up with ice on, feeling excellent. Tell them put a C on my jersey and my Letterman. I pay rack kids for the tennis shoes, I'm stepping in. I know the ops mad, I'm getting money and I'm flexing.
All right, people, welcome to Heartless Chat, episode 4. I have a few people here with me. Some of them are aliens. You'll see them puffing throughout the series. They need that to survive. Be easy with them. But yeah, you guys can go around in a circle and introduce yourselves.
So yeah, my name's Liam. I'm 29. I'm a metal drummer, and I run a medical business called Optolife.
I'm Bryce. I'm 26 years old, and I'm a chocolatier.
I'm Olivia. I'm 23 years old, and I'm a recent university graduate.
Hello, I'm Oscar. 29, construction landscaper.
Hi, I'm Megan. I am 28. I'm a certified dental assistant.
Hi, my name's Chad. I'm 29 years old. I'm in the Navy, and I'm also a hip-hop artist.
Okay. And my co-host, Sass. Everybody knows who he is. All right, so just to pop off for tonight, I was in the club the other day, and I was taking a piss. And this girl just walked into the bathroom, and I'm like, how is it okay for women to walk in to a guy's bathroom, but like guys can't do the same with women's bathroom?
Because most women aren't perverts.
Like, you're in Victoria now, so it's all these like open bathrooms. And you're walking in, you're getting surprised on by girls, guys don't even know what's going on anymore.
And then girls couldn't really harm guys, but guys can harm girls.
So why would you go into a bathroom full of men?
You know what? That's a good point, actually.
That is a good point.
When
Maybe
you put it like that.
intoxicated.
Probably an accident.
Did she say, my bad?
Yo, I
I'm
can't
not
make
gonna
this shit
lie.
up.
I've used the men's washroom, but
Yeah,
I'm
in a
also
pinch.
like I've never like felt like threatened. But something about a guy going into a girl's
girls.
washroom for
Instantly
some reason it feels different.
I
can't
want to
explain
be
it.
I want to be that fucking vindictive person and just go into a female bathroom. But I know for a fact
Yeah, because
that somebody's gonna be like, look at this
6'8",
big
bro.
fucking pervert.
You know, everyone's locking eyes right on you as soon as you walk in.
I think you can get away with it looking like this.
Like this,
Yeah.
As Big Bird,
You
we
wouldn't be
might-
threatened.
I'd
We wouldn't
accept
feel
you.
threatened.
girl.
It's hard to make assumptions nowadays. You don't know if she's packing heat or not.
Nah, though, it's crazy because I remember one time in Toronto, I'm peeing at a stall, and Shorty literally came next to me, raised her shit up, and cocked back, yo, and just sprayed straight into the urinal. And I was like, yo, that's some skills. that shit was
I'm
crazy.
not gonna
yo.
lie, I had a similar experience. I've seen the same thing, but it was outside on a pole out in Vancouver.
She just
I
raised
was
it up and
surprised. I was
just...
like, damn, she's just going for it. So
Like a dog, like lifted her leg up.
yeah.
I think my question was like, why are you staring?
But why is it... What do you mean, why am I staring? Why is she in my bathroom?
No, it's kind of impressive though.
It is.
Like
It
as
was
a woman,
impressive.
I would say it's kind of impressive.
That's some serious Kegels she been doing.
That's crazy.
Kegel movements on point. And then they have this new thing now where it's
Shiwi.
like...
I was just
Yeah,
about to
it's
say
on
that.
Amazon now. A woman could buy it,
for
and they can have
camping.
it in their purse.
To pee
And
on?
then they could just
Yeah, bro, it's like a
attach
funnel.
it to their pom-pom.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's
like
like...
it like shapes to your...
And it's a funnel so that you can pee standing up.
like-
Honestly, makes so much sense because bathrooms are kind of dirty.
Bro, the girls' line for
work,
the bathroom
though?
is always
Also that.
a mile long. The guys is nothing. There's never... I don't know if you guys don't pee like as
No, you
as
know what it is?
often.
It's because girls, we go
don't
in the
know.
bathroom and we have a
and
whole
we
sesh.
chat.
We're
That's
chatting.
so true.
That's so true.
That's why the
Yeah.
lines are always
You
so
go and
damn
talk,
long.
but
go
guys
you
are
guys
in and
go
out.
Do your
Do your
business.
business and get
Go.
right back out there
Yeah.
trying to talk to us. You know?
Yeah.
It's an unspoken rule too. If there's a lineup of urinals, it's like dude, empty urinal, dude, empty urinal.
Because you guys don't want to stare at each other's...
But if there's a line and some chick tries to just walk in, she's either
No,
getting
but-
to the back line or going to her own bathroom. That's where I'm like.
We use the
"Alright,
stall,
you're not
though.
coming in here.
We have stalls.
You're
We
not-
don't have a urinal.
But like guys
still a
don't
room. A stall
usually
is a
use
room,
the
right?
stall in the men's bathroom.
If
So
it's
then
open, you
like-
still use it. You're not gonna say
But like
no.
lots of guys
But-
don't.
No,
So then
you-
if it's open,
You use it.
You'd be surprised.
But you know
Really?
what? That's
Yeah.
that
Why
same
is
thing
it
you
always
said.
empty?
Open.
The amount of times I go in there and there's piss all over the toilets.
Oh,
yeah.
It's the
the worst, dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, and
it's-
then we
It's
turn
just
around
another
and walk
urinal.
out.
It is just another urinal.
Yeah, I mean, like, you gotta go number 2, and you're like, okay, now I gotta wipe all
In the
this
club?
off, like,
Oh, that's wild. Shitting in,
That's balls.
shitting in the club.
The rum bomb came early.
I'm not gonna hold you. That one you said about the rule in the urinals.
yeah.
It's weird because it is an unspoken rule. But the other day I was washing my hands, and there's like 7 other sinks, and a dude came and he washed his hand right next to me, and I felt like, bro,
Personal space.
in my bubble
He's
though.
only
Like
washing.
there's,
He's not peeing. So.
but still, like there's
No, but it
6
gives the
other
same vibe
sinks.
when you're in a parking lot, right? And the parking lot's empty, and somebody chooses to park beside you. It's the same energy.
The unspoken rule only works on urinals, not the sink.
Really?
Apparently.
That's fair, yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been, but I'm assuming.
Okay, I have a next question for you guys. Your partner is an actor, right? They're big in Hollywood. And this is for everybody. I want to answer. I'm going to answer it too. We're going to start in a circle.
I've been in that delusion, so.
Your partner is an actor. How comfortable are you with them having sex scenes? I'll start with you.
I don't care. I mean, you're acting, right? It's not the same as, like you're going on a date, you're cheating on somebody. It's like, that's for work.
Titties out, everything is, like,
It is what it is.
50
She's working,
Shades.
I think,
okay.
No, you said you were gonna answer.
No, we're going to, I'm the host.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna, yeah.
Okay, so
Me and Sas going last.
So I agree with him, like, because he's not like Hollywood famous or anything like that, but like there was a time where I was seeing somebody that was an actor. He was on a show, and there was, he had a wife in this show, blah, 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 he had a kid, and there wasn't sex scenes, but there was kissing scenes, there was like intimate scenes, and at the end of the day, like, obviously it's hard to turn that like switch off and be like, okay, this isn't real, but at the end of the day, it isn't real, and like, for sex scenes specifically, I know that they have like cups. Like they put cups.
They put
over.
little shields over everything.
Everything is covered. Like the sex scenes aren't sex scenes. Like they're not actually having sex because that would be unethical. But
I know of one movie that it was real sex.
Which movie is that? I'm asking
really
for a
don't
friend.
Didn't John Cena and Amy Schumer have sex for real?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
That's what I've been saying. Allegedly.
that's crazy. But yeah, at the end of the day, like you're right. It is just a job, and like if that person, I don't trust them before that, then that's a whole different thing. But then at the end of the day, I shouldn't be with that person if I don't trust them in that sense, right? But like if it's just a job, then it's just a job. Yeah.
There is the other side though, where actors they're either single or they're dating somebody else, and they have a kissing scene and they catch feelings. So you never know. But
Jon Snow.
There's always.
Jon fucking Snow.
at the end of the day, it's up to your own. Your own.
Married with kids now.
I feel like I agree with you on like the trust thing. Like
Yeah.
you'd have to really be able to trust that person
100%.
beforehand. But for me, I think I would take it as like it's work. It's not that serious, whatever. But at the same time, like I don't think I would want to watch.
Yeah,
I'd be
don't
like,
subject
I'd be
yourself
like,
to
babe,
that.
I'm gonna skip this episode actually,
Yeah.
because like I don't really want to see
I
you
need
like in
disclaimers.
love.
Like, don't watch this episode. I'll tell you what happens.
Yeah, like I might skip over a certain movie just because.
Suppose you watch it and it turn you on.
Girls are not really watchers.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. No, I think like. Yeah, no, I'd be like, no, I don't want to see that. I don't want to think about that. But I get it that it's work, and if it's just work, then it's all good. And if you cross that boundary, then
we have other stuff to talk
yeah, I
about.
mean, then I guess bye. Like, that's kind of the end of it. But at the end of the day, like, it's their job. That's what they're paid to do. But I also have a lot of respect for actors who, like, was it Chris Hemsworth, I think? Mm-hmm. He doesn't do any sex scenes. He won't do it because he's married. So he just, like, he won't take a job if...
I won't let him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not the way.
yeah, like they'll just like opt out of it, out of the job, or like, if they want the actor bad enough, then they'll be like, hey, you know what, we'll forego the sex scene because we want you and we respect your boundaries. So if I was dating an actor, I'd be like, oh, you're gonna skip a sex scene? you'll get an extra one later, you know? Like, but like if it is what you're doing, then it's what you're doing.
That's like the only type of scene that you can't have a stunt double for.
Yeah. But they do that though.
Probably
Like,
from, like, a back shot,
with the
maybe,
back
but
shots.
yeah.
With the back shots.
How to put that one in there.
Yeah, I agree. And you kind of, it's like any other relationship, you go into it kind of knowing what you're getting into. So if they're already an actor and then you get with them, it's like, of course, you can't really stop them from doing what they do.
Yeah.
From when you met them. So if you had an issue with that, it would be a little strange. Only way I could see it being an issue if you got with them before they were big and before they did any of those things. Then because it's such a long period of time that you were with them before that, then I could see it being an issue. But also, it's acting, as you said. It's gonna happen if they get that role, and I'm sure they would hopefully talk about that before they take that role. And then as long as you know what's happening, then it should be fine.
Okay.
I'm the opposite. I will never be okay with it.
That's fair.
It's just, it's trust issues. And then, like, let's say I do, because, like, if the roles were reversed, I would take, like Chris Hemsworth. Like, I would put it in a contract that it's, like, no sex scenes. I'm not, like, angelic, but at the same time, it's, like, you know, it's something sacred that you should just share with your partner. It's nothing for entertainment. Even though it's not real. So that's something I don't want to share with anybody.
I also feel like I kind of have beef with like other people knowing about the sex scene. I think that would be an issue for me. I'd be like, oh, everybody in the world just watch
knows how my man throws it down.
Yeah, like everybody and their moms just saw.
I'd rather make my own sex scenes at
whatever
home,
on TV.
you know?
You know what I mean?
But you get into the where like that's just like acting, but if you're in like the real bedroom with your like partner, it's gonna be a bit different.
Also,
you know?
like
You're not gonna
comparing
because
You
not
know,
just doing
because it's
action.
acting,
Yeah, like when you
Like-
think about it, like movie intimacy is so different, right? Like you'll watch a movie scene, you're like, oh my god, they're like going slow, they're like undressing
Feeling
each other, like all this
passionate
stuff,
and whatnot.
versus like real life, which
You compare.
you don't always.
You end up comparing.
Yeah, like it would be
right?
hard not to.
like
Yeah.
that in acting.
Yeah, right. So
I think it also has to do with the type of person that the actor is. If they're very egotistical, narcissistic, and likes all about me, they're probably not going to feel bad cheating on you.
you probably also
true.
shouldn't date that person. So
And that's what I was saying too. It's like if there's already problems with trusting that person in that sense, then
it's a no-go.
then you probably shouldn't even put yourself in that position to be like, am I okay with this or not? Because you're probably not okay with it at the beginning because they already like broke your trust. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I'm pretty good with it. As long as like my partner's bracketing the dough and everything's good. I get acting.
Sugar baby, let's
I
go.
get acting like it's very emotional, but if the emotions stay after the acting and like they're talking and like text and stuff like that, then it's gonna be a problem for me, definitely.
So is that something you need something for like reassurance? Like how would
way,
you
yeah.
It
know?
worked for
Like
Adam
serious.
22, so I mean,
Yeah.
He's a weirdo.
He's a professional cuck, though.
He's a clown.
And she wasn't just doing section; she was doing full on porn, wasn't
Yeah.
she? Yeah, like that's we're not talking about like some like romantic
OnlyFans.
comedy. You know what I mean? We're talking about like that's your job. You only actually have vaginal sex.
Stepbrother stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
so
no, it's not with the cups. You know what I mean? Like,
I was gonna ask what kind of other sex it can have, but then there's so much.
No, don't answer that.
Earlier I said with the cups, you know what I mean? Like there's no penetration with most movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that is literally like you have to act and you're
Ooh.
in it. You know?
Oh, but I'd also
No pun
like
intended. You know.
the thought, because I mean, like you're making out with somebody, you're touching on somebody, like.
Yeah.
Chances are you're gonna have a reaction, a natural reaction.
Yep.
And in the back of my mind, like if you were an actor and you were having sex scenes, I'd be thinking about he's hard right now.
That's the
I'd be
other
like,
thing too.
He's bricked up right now.
I was
like,
like-
how am I gonna? How am
Is
I
it just
gonna
the
go
actor
on?
too? Is it like the film crew? It's like, oh.
Also that.
Yeah.
So maybe you wouldn't be bricked up because you'd be nervous. So you'd be like, oh my god,
Or you
everybody's
could be
watching
thinking,
me.
That could be like actors out there. You know what I mean? Like this could be a cheat code. You know what I mean? Like you think about like some crazy shit that has nothing to do with the scene just while you're making out, so you don't.
But I think
feel
again,
like
for like, if you really want to be a good actor, you need to have those emotions.
Yeah,
and really
you
show
have to
that.
feel
you
it.
That's
care
the
for
other
it.
thing too. Like what if they really have to be in that moment? Then they would think it
But also,
that
it's
it's
like
real.
when you act and you're crying, you might not be thinking about that person dying. You're thinking about your grandma crying. So what if I'm thinking about you? And then
No, but
But that's the thing. It's gonna be too real.
I'd be like,
Actors like to be watched, though, if you think about
that's
it.
also true.
True.
So all actors are cucks.
You're gonna get people hate on you.
Being a cuck also, like, you like being watched? Is that also a form of cucking? Or is it
Oh,
watching
no, that's
somebody
reverse.
else?
That's reverse.
Okay.
Reverse
What is that
It's
called?
called
Voyeurism is when you watch, though, isn't it?
But it's somebody that likes to be watched. Expedition? Or
Expedition.
Yeah.
That's the one.
That's I think that's
Exhibit.
sex,
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
Either way, it takes two to tango,
Exhibitionist.
so.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's very like contextual, right? It depends how the scene makes you feel. If it's like Spider-Man and Mary Jane kissing, sorry for my old ass movie references
That's
here,
a good. That's a
but
good.
That's the
reference,
perfect
though.
scene for it.
it's very different from where Gerard Butler's in 300 in the beginning of 300. And like as a kid, I was like, "Fuck, that shit makes me horny," you know? Like it's two different things.
You know, he's doing the reverse upside down kiss.
Very romantic.
That depends how he makes you feel, but like
Very sexy.
I think I'd be more pressed about the romantic scenes. Like if it was like a whole Titanic or something dramatic like that, you know, where they're like building up and there's so much in between these characters and then they finally like have sex. I feel like I'd be more pressed about that than like
Rom-com.
like he came home from the club with some random bitch and they fucked him.
Especially like those
Yeah.
older movies are more of like the love was there.
Yeah,
you know,
like
it's not
some
like
Pride
the
and
teased it,
Prejudice
Nobody
shit.
cares
Yeah.
anymore, really.
Yeah, no, that would make me feel touched. I'd be like, he
Yeah.
doesn't look at me that way.
I was reading an article. I think it was last night, actually. I was reading an article on, going on actors. This one's the adult film industry. So it's a little bit different here. But I was reading that Riley Reid got married and has a baby with this guy, right? And she wants all of her films to be removed from the internet. Like, I'm sorry, but it's on the internet. That shit's there to stay. You're
Yeah,
fucked.
platforms everywhere.
How could you go and be like, how could you be that guy to be like, Riley Reid, will you marry me?
She's hardcore too.
She's a porn star or something.
Like hardcore.
Yeah, she's a porn star.
And then to be like,
I
oh,
don't know.
actually,
Busted.
Shit.
Shit.
That's fine. She's fine.
I'm a fan,
She's fine.
so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I grew up when I was into porn and watching porn and shit. I grew up on Cherokee and Pinky and shit like that.
Bro, same with Mia Khalifa. She asked for, because she had a kid or something, and she said, I don't want any, like, I want all of them taken down, blah, 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 blah. And there was like a whole.
Good luck.
But there's
It's forever. That's what
Yeah.
they say. Like,
there's one couple though, like Johnny Sins and his wife. They're both porn stars.
But
It
look
worked
at
out.
Johnny Sins. He's an astronaut, a doctor. He's got all the qualifications. How can you not? Like,
He's a teacher. He's a dad. God, that is actually true.
So either
He's
the
allowed
guy,
that.
the guy in that situation.
Well, because
either-
like most of his film is like with the wife on orgy, and I was like, oh my god, I'm exposing myself. But or either the two of them or threesome. So it's like, and they're married in real life.
they
So,
must have
you
a
know.
very strong bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, either the dude in that situation has an absolute hammer and nothing compares. He is incredibly secure in his manhood, or they're deeply in love, or both, or I don't know. She changed.
I mean, redemption is for everyone, right? I mean, but like in other people's eyes, though, like you yourself can find redemption and you can start going to church and you can become a different person, right? But how can everyone else see you through different eyes?
And that's what I was
because
saying
there's
about like
opinions.
if everybody in the world watched your partner's sex scene in an acting movie, even if you didn't see it, even if you don't care, like other people, like you're gonna go see your friend for coffee or whatever, and they'd be like, "Oh my god, I watched that movie that your boyfriend was in. He's kind of packing," you know what I mean? Like
Especially like
stuff
those
like
super
that.
fans. That's all they care about actors, and they're always posting.
Yeah.
You're gonna see stuff. You're gonna have the haters, the lovers. Like,
Yeah.
stuff's gonna like make you think different
It's actually
things.
crazy.
It's gonna be hard in your relationship. That's where the trust and respect comes in for sure.
What's your answer?
Honestly, I think when you're putting stuff into media, right, you got to be ready for the criticisms. And if you're dating someone that is in a high-profile situation like that, people are gonna talk. That's the way it's gonna be, regardless. You could be a no one, and people are still gonna talk shit about you. So, at the end, you just got to be comfortable, and you got to know what you want.
Okay, this is my answer. I think it's like a credit system. If you are a regular C-class movie, B-class movie maker, and your movies are only on like
Hulu.
shelves in fucking the gas station on DVD and shit,
He still exists.
you're not allowed to make any videos.
Like usually 18 over videos. Yeah.
But if you're like a Hollywood A-class actor, and I know you're raking in some serious dough. Like, you're not gonna go and do a sex scene and they pay you $5,000. You come home like, all right, what are you talking about? I could have do skip the dishes for a month and make that. So yeah, I'm okay with it as long as you're like a Hollywood star. But if you're just a regular thing, nobody diving in your pum pum like Phelps, and like I gotta sit down on my bed and watch you ride another dude.
Would you watch it?
I would want to see what. Am I missing out at home? Like,
Yeah, no.
What kind of
but then
acrobatic
the problem
thing
is,
you
what
know?
if you are?
You could also, like, if you're watching, you could, like, sometimes you could discover stuff like, why aren't you doing that in the bedroom with me? And you're like getting to the acting so much.
Like, oh, I just
That's
learned it.
really-
I just learned it on set.
I was like, I was in the script. It was in the script.
I'm actually curious. So like the money matters.
There's not the money, it's the status. Because there is dudes like, okay, for instance, like a dude like Omari Hardwick.
Who?
I was like, I don't even know who that is.
He is, in my eyes, he is a A-level star. He mightn't be making A-level money, but he's an A-level star. Now, somebody like the dude who plays Falcon in Avengers.
Don't call him.
Oh, shoot. He's
Anthony
what's
Mackie.
his
Are you about to
name?
shit on him?
No, he makes money.
Okay. I was like, pause. What?
No.
Not the A class.
So like, if you're out there and you're doing stuff with A-level dudes, I'm not saying that I'm submitting or whatever. I'm just saying, like, you're not gonna go out there and skin out your pum pum for $5,000. If you're doing it, bring back like, you know, $500,000 or something. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's weird because there was this show on Netflix and I was watching it and there was a sex scene. And I don't know if it was the 100 or... I don't think the 100 had sex scene, but it was a weird movie out in space and shit. And this woman was riding this dude, but she brings dudes in to fuck them. And she has this long knife. And she says, if you come before me, you're dead.
Whoa.
And then like,
So
and
she's
then
killing those guys.
Write that
she's
down.
like,
Me first. Prioritize.
yo, she starts riding the dude, his eyes open up crazy. She's like,
You can't
yo,
even
this pum
enjoy
pum
it.
wet.
I don't think he'll come after that.
Instant just soft.
What?
Yeah.
She's like, this is too much pressure. I can't.
The virgins there just sweating, hey?
I'm gonna find the movie and I'm gonna send it to you guys. But she was riding that shit like she was doing it like she'd been doing it from time. I'm just saying.
If my mom ever watched this podcast, bro,
Yeah, this is like such a perfect definition.
send me the link, bro.
The link is not being sent.
I'm sorry, mom.
Hey mom, what's up?
Mom, be
Pum pum
proud.
talks.
My mom's Italian. She's gonna slap me.
I mean,
Oh, on the topic of pum pum, randomly, I'm going through Instagram last night. I was watching Avengers, and after Avengers finished, I was just.
Wait, which Avengers? Because we also watched.
I
Avengers
watched
yesterday.
no, I lie. I watched Doctor Strange last night.
The first one?
The first one, yeah. That was the best one. I'm watching this. I'm just start scrolling Instagram, and I see this lady like with this arm coming down from the ceiling, and it just laser, and she picks up this thing, and she's like, "Look, guys, it's off." And she's like, "Okay, I can't wait for the next one to be off." And I realized she's cutting off the girl's labia, and I was like, and that's on Instagram.
Yo,
wait,
wait, did you guys like
This is probably fake.
a few weeks
no,
ago?
it's not fake. This is a real thing.
No,
Okay, so
On the
I don't know,
internet?
like, are girls ashamed of that or something like that?
No. Okay, so I don't know what you were watching, but what it reminded me of is like there's like in Kenya and like places like in Africa and stuff, it's actually a thing where they cut it off and they sew it up. Like it's
Yeah.
like a thing. So they don't and then if you get married or whatever, they know you're a virgin 100%.
Yeah.
It's like the girl version of getting circumcised.
No,
No,
this
no.
shit's worse. No,
It's
no,
like-
you
it's
can
like,
still do your thing. Don't,
Bro,
don't
it's like
do all
it's
that.
like a
Don't do all that.
chastity belt.
This
Like,
shit is literally like
chastity
genital
belt
mutilation.
on
Like
crack.
it's fucked up. It's fucked up.
That's
Yeah, it's
insane.
fucked up.
Bro,
It's
I would
super
be
fucked
sad.
up. So I don't
Imagine
know if
having
that's what
sex
you
but
were
without the
watching.
No, it was a woman in a clinic. Like you could see his professional
So she
sex.
was like insecure about it, so
Sorry,
she's
I
trying
just,
to.
I just went deep. But that is a labiaplasty. So if
The labia is too
now that I
stretched
know
out.
anything about these, but I've seen like videos and stuff on it, and I watched like this show called Botched. It's like pretty much about like people coming in with like
surgery.
really
Botched?
bad
Implants and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what sometimes will happen is like, you know, like you're older or whatever, you've had kids, like shit's just not hanging or sitting where you want it to sit, right? So your shit will be like out, and they'll just cut it up. They'll just like, you know, trim it up, make sure it's like nice and, you know, it's in the lips.
Cut off
So
cut off
that's what it
edges.
is.
But some of
That's
them
what I
think that's
think
the
he knows.
flavor holder.
No crusts.
Flavor holder.
Okay,
guy got
let them know
returned
so they don't know.
I actually. Does that bother men?
No, it's like just how men have their flavor saver, and then you women have the flavor holder.
I actually have asked. I've been asked about that.
Sorry about what?
If I was stretched out there, I was like, how the fuck would I know? They think I look at it.
What? But nah, but
No,
what?
not the
Men
skin.
don't.
We're talking about the labia, like big.
That's like sticking out.
Not
like the
lips,
wizard
like the
sleeve, you
piece
know, like.
inside.
Oh, inside. Gotcha. Okay. For some reason, I was like,
I
thinking about the
appreciate that
lips.
you know what the labia is, though. Well,
I know my way around.
yeah.
This guy, he's like a
He said no,
biomedic,
no,
this
not
guy.
that part. The labia.
He's like a scientist.
He knows how to navigate it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But yeah, I don't feel like, me personally, I don't feel like women should be ashamed of it. I think like you should embrace who you are. I mean, if you have skin that hitting your knees and shit, maybe okay.
I don't want to be
You
swimming.
gotta do something about it, and you gotta roll it up,
It's more
tuck it in and shit.
I don't know.
Couple
It's more to play
clothespins.
with, you know?
No, but I feel like for women though too, because of like the porn industry, men have like this. Not all men, not men who have been with women proper, but like lots of men have like this weird perception of like women and what women look like, and that makes women insecure. It's like you compare yourself a little bit to these porn stars who are like.
Do you
I could see what you're
agree
saying. Like I've had
though?
like girlfriends in the past where like, you know, they get upset, you're scrolling, they're like liking girls' pictures, and they're like, why don't you like me? But I get it because we're just, you know, guys being guys. Like sometimes just second you're just scrolling, don't care in general. But obviously the girl does, and it's like, you know, gives her self-esteem.
Yeah.
Do
Like,
you
most
agree
women-
that like roles could be reversed? That like men has this perception,
Based off porn?
or like no, girls have perception of like how the dick size should be.
I hear a lot of that on
Right?
height a lot too. Girls always like, if the guy's too short, I always get that a lot.
But you know what that
I don't
is,
mind. I
though?
like being short.
To me, like as a taller girl, I feel like a lot of the time it's not even really about me. It's more like a guy is insecure if you're taller than him. So like I wouldn't, not that I wouldn't date somebody shorter, but like if I was to date somebody shorter, I feel like it wouldn't be a me problem. It'd be a problem with him because he feels insecure. Because
I don't mind taller girls. She gets stuff off the shelf for me.
I respect that. But I feel like a lot of the time that problem is rooted, it's either rooted in like men being uncomfortable with being smaller than their girlfriend, or it's rooted in like girls who are too caught up in Instagram and whatever, and they're like, oh, I need to have a guy who's aesthetically
I'm seeing like
pleasing.
the ads. These guys are like selling shoes that give you that extra 2 inches and stuff like that.
Boy, that's so bad.
But at the end
The
of the
man
day, at the end
heels.
of the day, we have that. So why shouldn't you guys?
No, and like fair enough. Like honestly, no,
Because heels are much different than these slide-ins for the shoes. Heels accentuate your legs and the butt,
they
right?
lift the ass.
Exactly.
Haven't you watched She's
Heels
the
be
Man?
doing something for a girl, but when you're sliding in your fucking 2-inch wedges into your Skechers, like man, like shit, man, you got something going on in your life.
Especially
Yeah.
if they're Skechers, I feel like that's even
The
worse than
Skechers
this.
is what did it actually. If you put them in your Air Forces, maybe it's okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you can get the inserts, right? You can put them in
Yeah.
any shoe. Like, don't put them in the Skechers.
Own who you are. I mean, the ultimate thing that I think females love is confidence. But going off this topic, right? There's always that 666 rule that girls always love to
6
put
feet, 6
on
feet,
the
or 6
fucking
inches?
social media, right? Like the 6-figure paycheck, 6 feet, 6-inch dick. They're always looking for that golden ratio for
Yeah.
men. How?
But guys have a golden ratio too.
For women.
I don't.
No.
Well,
Yeah,
okay,
but no, you're not most men.
then you're the black sheep, because most men.
Do you have a standard?
Oh, my bad.
I think that's what we're going back to, the insecure.
Do you have a standard for women?
Yeah, like
I mean, I I think all people have a standard to a degree.
But everybody's standard is different
not
too.
height, not the same 6'6", no. But like, you know, I mean.
But then attractiveness is subjective too. Like what you're into might not be the same as what Sass is into, or vice versa.
Yo, yeah. I woke up with ice on, feeling excellent. Tell them put a C on my jersey and my Letterman. I pay rack K's for the tennis shoes I'm stepping in. I know the ops mad, I'm getting money and I'm flexing.